Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, back into WarPlan Pacific and our Bonsai PBEM challenge, and a challenge indeed. We'll go around the map. We'll look at everything that's going on. We'll look at India and Australia, China. We've got Suva blockaded. Sort of. Anyway, we'll get into it all and check it out. But first of all, let's look at the turn report. U.S. landing ships, we added 10. We added 20 landing ships to the availability pool. You always want to be adding those, especially as the U.S. So you're going to be landing places where you don't have ports, or even if you do have the port, you just got it, and so you got to send landing ships. So always be building those. We get 20 more. Convoy attack versus Japan route. Now that's us over by India, just because we have ships that are resupplying our troops over there. One of them happens to be in the convoy lane. Um, because I mean we could interdict that. Now the problem is, well, I say we could. We essentially kind of do have it blockaded now, but he can get supply from across the land. He's got that hooked up to Delhi, or really all the way over to Hong Kong. I mean, he controls all of that territory. It's on the rail lines, and so ultimately he can get freight over there. UK's 10th destroyer flotilla was sunk. That was out by India, I believe, as well. Australia's fourth corps surrendered. Now, that was that little corps in Australia was out of supply. I mean, we didn't have enough hexes to put it in supply. We'd kind of run out of space. So, anyway, we got a bunch of things in India that are in trouble. We'll get into that as well. And I think, let's see, we lost one merchant marine there. And that was it. Okay, so we lost one merchant marine to the 5th Air Division. The 5th Japanese Air Division hit our convoy lane and got one merchant marine. All right, so that is the turn report. Let's go to the combat log last time. As you can see, there was quite a bit going on. We had partisan activities out in China. We had some going on in Australia. We had some up in India, and 3 in India, and then some in Southeast Asia, modern Vietnam. Supply interdiction. Now, this was us interdicting into the port in Bombay. We actually did have the rail, and you can see he got over here and got onto the rail as fast as he could because he knew, we could try to blockade out Bombay. It's too late for that now, unfortunately. But we'll get back over here to India and figure out exactly what we're going to do. We did attack his convoys coming in here to Bombay. We didn't get any merchant marines or escorts sunk. Ground strikes. So now he, as usual, he starts hitting with the air, and he's hitting the strongest of our units here, the American Large Corps. The First Corps is out here. And as you can see, he's either consolidated or brought in the strongest force, he could possibly have, pretty much 11 on the combat. So we're in trouble trying to get Bombay here. Surface interdiction. Again, we're doing that, into Bombay. We've got ships in the area, and as long as the ship is within 4, it will try to interdict Bombay. Surface interdiction. He had a battle cruiser squadron that came in here and came through here. It looks like it hit the grayling. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Back up here. Okay, so I'm trying to piece this all together. Supply interdiction, no losses, convoy attack. He did have 10 escorts out here, so the skipjack was trying to hit that. Ground strike, we looked at that. Okay, surface interdiction. So the defending ships, that was him actually, because the Glasgow is our cruiser. Okay, well, nothing happened in that battle. We were interdicting into here, and then ambush. A battle cruiser squadron showed up over here. Battle cruiser squadron. Okay, nobody took any damage there. Surface interdiction, so he's got a cruiser and a battleship over here, the Isa and the Tone. So he had a battle cruiser in here, and now we know a cruiser and a battleship. Our destroyer flotilla did take 2 damage. All right, then a submarine interdiction. We achieved surprise against this group that he's got out here. He's got more than this, evidently, because we saw the ISA. So he's got, more than just battleships, or he's got a battle cruiser, 3 battleships that we know about, a cruiser, a cruiser, destroyer squadron. So he's got a lot of stuff. But we took the damage, even though we got surprise on him. Again, we achieve surprise, but we take the damage. Again, we achieve surprise. We take amazing how that happened. Naval strike. Okay. First Air Brigade tries to get out here on the cruiser squadron, the Glasgow. Um, doesn't get a whole lot of accomplished here. First Air Brigade takes 1 in damage, so he's the one that takes the damage. And then he destroyed our destroyer flotilla out here with his 2nd Air Division. Okay, wow, a lot going on right there in that area in India. Land combat. He hit this unit that had no supply. It took 2 in damage, and then it held this time. It holds again, and then it surrenders. Well, that's because its effectiveness probably went to 0. Current turn, partisan activities, all out here in China, India. Then we had the convoy attacks that we've already seen. Wow, so a lot happened up there in India. You can kind of see the situation. The situation's not good here. The situation's not good over there either. So the situation is pretty good in China, but we've got to get a foothold as the allies somewhere, whether it be Australia. I mean, we could try to get a foothold here in New Zealand, certainly. But we've got a foothold, I guess you would say, but we've got to hold on here in India. We've got to get a foothold, and he's making it incredibly difficult to do so. Um, Deployment. What do we got? The Brits got nothing. They get a comment, not quite next turn. Maybe we will get that on the first part of next turn. Then they've got some landing ships coming in April, but nothing else for quite a while. U.S. Cutlass Submarine Squadron. So let's move over to the U.S. West Coast where we have to put these down. We will put the Cutlass down in. That's a sub, I think. Yeah, we'll put it right in there. So it's 2 subs. And we have a brand new core. Okay, and we'll just put that into the uncovered port there of Astoria. So that is a 20 strength core, so a small core. Next time we get a brand new carrier, we get a big core, we get an infantry corps small, so we get a big and a small corps. We get a fighter group. Then we get comments in 2 turns. We get an amphibious group, 38th Division, so on and so forth. We get a lot of stuff, obviously, as the Americans. Australia, well, he's going to get an air unit next turn. We don't have any place to put it. The only place to put it would be Canberra, and we can't put it in there. I have had a look. We may want to build an airfield out there if we can. Canada, the commies got supply trucks on the way, and that headquarters that we built. Okay. Reports, casualties. Well, I mean, he's taken some casualties. So have we. We've taken a lot more casualties than he has, obviously, which should probably be the case this early in the game. But we've got to start making some headway somewhere, whether it be in India or a pushback in Australia. I mean, that something has got to start to happen for us here. We're going to run out of time when it comes to points. When you look at overall forces, I mean, he just absolutely dwarfs us. But we looked at that last time. We won't go through it again. We'll maybe do it here in a couple more turns. War panel, there's nothing to be done there. Advancements, the Brits are trying to steam towards 1944 with their assault troops. Other than that, carrier operations will get to a 1943 in about a month and a half. In about 2 months, Amphib goes up, but we got a lot of 43s and 42s out here. So we're doing fine there. We just needed to get up to those 43s before 43 is over. U.S. Looks like what about 3 months, a little over 3 months, we get up to a 1943 assault. That'll be welcome. Close support 43. I mean, we're only doing fighter bombers really. We did do escort fighters just because by the time we get into the late war, we're going to need those for our big strategic bombers. Naval air training, I'd really like to see that move up. Anti-sub next turn, we'll finally get that to a 1941. Ouch. Here's the big one. In 1 month, carrier operations will go to a 1944, and that's when we can finally stop being threatened, really, um, by the Japanese carrier fleets. When this goes to a 44, we add a couple of those new carriers that are coming online, then all of a sudden we can start doing what we need to do when we want to do it out at sea. 000. Okay, so nothing to add there. Convoys, we did lose the one Merch Marine. Okay, I mean, we've got this at 20 now. We could click off there and go with the Brits are up to 41 oil. I like it. I like it a lot. Uh, let's just keep trying to pump oil in there. And what we'll do is we'll just do control 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And we'll create that trade. Okay. So that'll be going off to the Brits. In the build zone, the Brits can't build anything right now. The U.S. has 392 in the stockpile. How's the upkeep going for? Okay, so they're not getting any upkeep, or they don't need any. U.S. only needed 44 out here. I mean, we've got it set on 188, but only using 44. That 392, we might want to build some more air, some more. We need all the air assets we can get. Soviet Union, who cares? China, who cares? I mean, I say who cares? I'd love to build a Chinese unit. Um, Unfortunately, they're using almost all of their production. I say unfortunately, I mean, I've got it set that way, so I guess fortunately they're using all of their production for reinforcement and upgrade. We'll have to see. Maybe we've jumped up to 1940 with all of those Chinese troops now. Australians, looks like the Canadians can build a new infantry division. Now, with the way the logistics and manpower goes, I think what we'll be doing, well, it takes 5 manpower. Well, we'll build a few landing ships with the Canadians as they get up to 25, the next couple of times. I guess we could build one more division. We've lost a Canadian division, so now we're able to build one more. All right, I think we covered most of it. I guess the only people that can build are the U.S. here. Let's go ahead then and build yet another fighter group. We'll do 1943, costs 350. We'll go ahead and build that. 42, so let's go to support. Let's do landing ships. Always want those to be on the way. I guess the Brits need landing ships. Let's actually build. Oh, I hate to take the logistics down like that, but they're gonna need landing ships. So let's do it. That takes them to 0 in their stockpile. Okay, so that's the build this time. I'm going to go offline here for a second, think about what we do next. I'll be right back. Hopefully you won't even notice. All right, so let's start down by Australia because we got a few obvious things that we need to do, and that is we need to get back to the West Coast with our battleships. We got this whole crew. They are completely out of supply, so we've got to get them back to a base. Now, that's why it's always nice to still have Wellington, Auckland over here, but we don't. And so we're going to have to go through the whirligig one more time. More battleships. All right. Now, in that little adventure, we didn't lose any carriers. That's good. We've got more carriers that have come onto the map, so we're building towards parity within. But by May, we'll have as many carriers as the Japanese do. So let's put the carriers through, and then we've got these two subs. Now I put these subs through, but if we go look I put them through to Australia out of India. If we go look at this situation up here and how we want to play it, to keep these guys alive now, we're going to have to supply them from the shore. And so, do we? Well, it's not a great situation up here. As you can see, I know you're shocked. This has only got one of three left. We could try to supply these guys. Now, where are they sitting? 2 days worth of supply. They both have two, or two. I always say days. It's turns, turns. So each turn they go down a turn of supply. This sub is basically cooked. Well, this one is too. This one down here, well, they're all one of three at this point. So he has got, do we know, he's got 30 ships up here. Okay, so these guys aren't going to last long. Let's try to resupply these guys on the beach, though. All right, and we're just going to sacrifice that sub. Now, for these guys, we could move one of our guys over here and resupply him. If we wanted to give up a sub to keep this, we could just move in over here. That's two full turns though. We would have to do that next turn. He's at 0. He's gonna start losing effectiveness here soon. We've also now got this unit trapped down here. He's got 2 turns left. We need to probably back him off. As you can see, he's moved a major force into Bombay. He very I don't know exactly how he did it. I'm sure he put units together and merged them to get this, but now we're just completely stymied here until we can get more forces. We do have a 30 of 30 here, but these guys are in such bad supply, and there's no real place to put this, right? He's got Delhi blocked. You can see he's now put, a blocking force if we were going to try to land up by Calcutta. We're going to have to take this somewhere else. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But these guys, for now anyway, are resupplied. We're going to have to move him, or they'll have to trade places in a turn, and we'll have to try to resupply this from somewhere else. So this guy, he's done for. This sub will bring down here and try to hide for a turn, and then we'll try to get back up there and resupply what we can. So we'll just put him down there, and we'll do the same with this sub. It takes both their operation points to resupply. So let's put that on stealth mode as well. We'll put it right there for now. And then this, we're going to have to try to move to the coast if we can. We can also, well, we could go here first. We could even try to go over here. He's got 2 days or 2 turns left. He is going to have to go here, and he is going to have to go. He'll have 1 turn left next time, and we'll try to get down to the coast. I don't think we can get all the way to Mangalore with any kind of strength. We also have the Glasgow out here, but we're going to put that through the whirligig. He's got 2 left. We're going to have to get more stuff up here to resupply so we don't just lose those units for free. He has blocked us in India. Shocker. He does a great job of using the rail and getting back around here that most medium to even advanced players don't do nearly this well. Um, and so we're blocked here. We're going to have to try to come back through and resupply. We've got 2 subs down here that we may have to sacrifice at some point. Now we've got this 30 of 30 unit, and what do we want to do with that? Well, it's a good question. I think what I'm going to do is put it back through to Australia at this point. We've got more stuff over here, but we'll get to that in a minute. So let's put him back through to Australia. That 30 of 30 could become very important for what we're going to try to do next. As you can see, we've got no transports left for the British units back here, so there's nothing to do there. We do have this unit that's just out here kind of floating around, and it's a matter of where we want to put him in. And I think at this point we're going to go try to take Chumfon. That can certainly supply this unit. Now he's going to get over immediately and start interdicting this, but we could potentially come down to Kota Baru. We could go to Tavoy. We could land up here in Mole Mine and try to come across, but I think the best place to land is right here, and we will lose the last 10 British landing ships, but now we're in Champfon. Okay, we've got a port up here now. Yay. So, um, these British units that are coming around here, then we got to figure out where we want to hide them. Now, I want them to be close enough to Champfon that if they need to come over here and land, I mean, that's essentially where we will have to land unless the American forces find a decent place to go. So we're going to come out here. We got it on stealth mode, and let's make sure. So it appears that Hong Kong's uncovered. Now, whether that's true or not, as you can see, he slid around to Singapore. Amazingly, he just knew that we were coming to Singapore after having that uncovered for turn after turn. Whoop! Now he's in Singapore. Kamran, Qing Nai, Vin. We could even come up here to like Zhang and then try to come around this way, come down through Haiphong. I mean, we've got a bunch of landing options up here. We could even land in the Philippines, but again, he'll be over very quickly to interdict all this stuff, and so we got to be careful. But we don't want to be more than 24 away from Champfon because we could land there. We could also land in Kota Baru, of course. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. We could be out here somewhere. We could be back here, even over here potentially. I think I'll put them as close to middle as I can. As I said, they're in stealth mode. So let's put that there. Okay, now he's going to have to take a turn. 2, 3, 9, 10, 11. Okay, we're well within range of Champfon. So this will establish the port this turn. He can come here and land. He doesn't need landing ships next turn. Now we've got the American forces down here. We were kind of hiding one of them. We've got this American. Oh, we've also got this British force I was kind of forgotten about. Let's put that, kind of up here in the same area. We'll put it, let's say, maybe this one we'll put over here. We don't want to be in the convoy lane because that'll immediately give us away. So let's put him there. And then let's take this American force anyway. This is the 37th Division. This guy maybe we'll put, I don't know, here? Sure. We'll put him there. And then we've got the air unit, but I think I'm just going to leave him here. We want to get established on land before we risk any more of these air units, certainly. Um, so let's go back over here to India very quickly. He's dead in the water. Nothing he can do. We've moved this. We've moved that. These guys don't have a way of getting supply. He's already going to lose effectiveness. Let's just go ahead and move him. And I mean, we'll try to get him over here. We're not going to get him over here in time, but we may as well give it a shot. These guys are well established here, but we don't have enough strength from these units to get on the third side. And that's what I always talk about. You really got to get on a third side, especially with a really strong unit like this. Let's be honest, we're probably not going to take Bombay, but we'll try to keep these guys alive as long as we can because at least it keeps all of his forces occupied. And if we go land someplace else, it's less that he can bring. Now he's got 30 ships up there, meaning he's likely brought his carriers over, which serves one purpose anyway. He's not bombing the crud out of us over here in Australia, and instead we can bring our carriers back after they refuel for a turn. Now we do have these subs. Now they're down to 4 days. I've got those other subs over there, so I'm going to put this through the West Coast, let them get back up to 8 days, which is what the long range subs have. and then we'll bring them back over as well as fast as we can. All right, this lineup we're not going to change at all. We want to stay doubly dug in. We've got our three strongest American units there. I will say, at least without the carrier presence, it's going to be harder for him to take Canberra, certainly. If we go up here to Suva, we could try to attack this sub, but that, he was smartly came here in here like this, so we have to use point, one of our two operation points to move, and then the other one to attack. Um, I think we're just going to take this back for now. I mean, there's just no reason to throw away for ships for something where you're not going to accomplish anything. All right, so he's going to go back to Pearl Harbor for now. Do I have any other Americans? So I've got that 30 of 30 coming. We're going to try to get up here and take Newcastle and put a little pressure on him. Newcastle's a 3, so it can support up to 60 strength points just from the regular old port supply. Now he'll get over here, obviously, and try to interdict the port then we'll bring our carriers. It's going to turn into a real slugfest off the coast of Australia. I also want to come over here and get Wellington, Auckland, and we'll be back. We'll be back to take on this at Suva. What ships? We don't know what ships he's got here at Nomaya. Now that's what sunk our little fleet that was over at Nomaya from before. What else do we have out here? Okay, so they're moving back. He'll be into Pearl Harbor next time. At Pearl Harbor, we've got a lot of British ships. Of course, let's see. Can we see it this way? Let's go down here just to see how much oil the Brits have. They're up to 41. Um, just go through all of those warnings because I restarted. Had a little pause in between coming back. Okay, so he's going back. Um, Zoom out. Hawaiian Islands. Okay, that looks fine. Let's see. Did I think we deployed? Yeah, we deployed. We get the Lexington next turn. That's nice. And another core. This core came on the map. I think because of that, we could probably launch out from San Diego, but I think what I'm going to do is wait and have this core go through 20 of 20. Let's put him together. Let's make that a 30. Let's actually fly this down to some place that's got coverage. We'll fly that down to LA. We'll just leave Seattle uncovered for a turn. Not the end of the world. I mean, the Canadians can't get there, damn it. Okay, and next time out, we'll come with that 30 of 30. We'll combine it with that other 30 and 30, and that's what we'll try to take Newcastle and then pressure Sydney with. In India, we just got to keep running back over there to land supply. I don't think he has enough strength to attack us, not really, unless our effectiveness just gets so low that we have, that they're basically paper counter. I mean, they don't have anything behind them. So this unit's down to 2 supply. This British unit will have to, keep shuffling back and forth. He's not particularly strong. Let's say like there, he's 2 of 1. We could try to hit that and move it back. I'm actually tempted to do that, but I need to keep this guy close to the coast. That's a 1 and 3. That's not good. It's across the river. That's also across the river. No attack to be had there. If I shift and I have both of them here, we're 1 to 2 odds now into Bombay. Just unbelievable. Um, he does have some air power out here, and obviously he's got his carriers, so he's going to start, just strafing us out here. Let's go through and make sure I don't have any other units. And again, we're sitting great in China. I'm not going to move anything in China. There's just no reason to. Everything out here looks good. We could even start to try to push through the middle. I've been tempted to do that. Uh, we don't get odds out here. It's currently snowing, so we're going to get the worst odds possible, even with a strong unit. Now that's across the river, as you can see on the little icon. But we could start to move something out here because we've got things behind it. that could also cover up here, but you get him out from the river. What do we have here? That's a small formation as well. If we could start, if we could split these, because we have a lot of things back here behind. I mean, we could even take this. Now, I hate to move him away from Shangtu, though. Can he get up there? He's a little stronger. 40 assault, that's a 39 assault. Let's move him out there. Now, if I move this guy out here, he's going to start getting attacked, but maybe we could go after that and try to get a little more aggressive out here. Can he go there? Yeah, he can. Let's cross over the river quickly and see if we can start to maybe pressure him a little bit. 3-2, 3-2. If I shift this, now we're 2-1 there. Now I don't want to necessarily, this unit is so important. I'm not sure I really want to go after it. But next turn, when he can come into this, we could potentially attack here. Now we're going across rivers all three ways. But still, if we could start to move out this way just a little bit, it may make him wake up in China, and we would, could potentially bring these American forces to land on some of these places. That makes things get a little more interesting. You can see in Formosa, this is the one victory location. I cannot believe he doesn't have anything in Hong Kong, or he's not going to very shortly. So, you know, uh, I'm not keeping my hopes up. We're just going to land in Hong Kong. Um, Okay, let's look and make sure there's nothing left to build. We did all this earlier, I believe, when I did this a couple of days ago. Yeah, we did. All right. Let's keep going through forces and just make sure there's nothing left to move. The Brits don't have any more transport, so that is what that is. I would like to move this guy back here and be with the rest of his guys, but I don't want to give up the double entrenchment for all of these guys. I want to make sure we don't have any other ships. Okay, he's in Darwin. We've got the air power here. Now, if we do take Newcastle, I think I'll bring the air down here and try to even up the air in Australia a little bit. We got the subs that we're trying to hide. We've landed in Champhan. We've got these poor guys up there in India, a little bit stranded, but we're going to try to, keep them alive if we can. This is fine. I don't mind having him there. I probably would like to have something right there. I could move him. I don't want to move any of these guys. This is probably being a little reckless. If you can get to a standstill in China, you've kind of won that theater. Um, we could send one of these ten of tens through, but I don't want to uncover any of these San Francisco, LA, San Diego. You gotta keep, who knows? He could do some kind of weird surprise attack. Um, I just don't want him to be wide open because that's game over. It's disaster. Okay, I think that's going to do it for our movement part of this turn. Look, our backs are against the wall. We're going to just have to bring out the carriers. We're going to have to get more aggressive, but that's okay. This is when you want to start getting aggressive. We're about a month, or a year and a month, or a year and 2 months, I should say, into the war. We're a little over a quarter of the way into the war, so not all is lost. The Americans will start producing so much that the Japanese can't keep up. And we've just got to play smart from here on out. But we can still win this one. I don't want to lose to Bonsai again. Believe me. Anyway, have a great one. This has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time.